So, in about a week and a half from filming this, I will be visiting my home state for the first time since 2021. I've made a video in the past talking about how I really don't like visiting home because it just stirs up a lot of feelings. Okay, I get very anxious. I maybe initially I'm excited to go back, but then when I am there, I realize this is not the place for me anymore. And so then I want to leave. And so I've been feeling a little about going back. Now the reason why I'm making this visit, it's because my best friend and I we do an annual trip together where we take turns visiting the other person and she has moved back to my hometown. Now she's originally from the same state that I am, but from a different city, and we actually met in college. She came to my hometown to go to college and that's where we met. Now, I'm older than her, so I graduated first. I left the state first. But when she graduated, she actually moved up north for a couple of years. And so we were doing our trips alternating, and I was going up north. At the end of last year, she hit me up to tell me that she was going to be moving back to our home state and that she was going to be buying a house over there. I looked up her address, and she's actually 20 minutes from the house that I grew up in. And honestly, I didn't know how to feel about it. I was excited for her that she got a house, but also I was feeling very apprehensive about it because when I go visit her, that means I'm going to be so close to my house. That means I'm going to be so close to my family. I don't like visiting home because I don't enjoy my family dynamic and I don't enjoy those feelings that I associate with those interactions. So I've been really nervous since I've booked this ticket, which was months and months ago, like 6 months ago. I am making this a 2-week trip where the first week I'm going to be seeing my aunt and uncle in a different city. And then I'm going to spend the second week with my best friend. It was only probably like a month or two ago where I decided I was only going to tell the people who I want to see that I'm going to be in town. And I did toy with the idea of going to visit other family. And ultimately, I have decided that I don't think I will for my mental and emotional sake, especially because this trip is supposed to be a mental and emotional break for me from all the stuff going on right now in life. Part of me does feel guilty in a sense for not openly announcing my visit. But at the same time, I feel like I'm at a point in life where I really need to prioritize my own well-being, my own mental health, my own emotional health over doing what I think will make other people feel better, whether about themselves or the situation, our relationship, whatever. And it's not an easy decision to tell myself, I'm just not going to tell them, I'm just not going to see them, because I go back and forth with that decision. I'm wondering, has enough time passed? Would they want to see me? Would they be happy to see me? Would I be happy to see them? And frankly, the last time I saw them, it really felt like I wasn't really wanted. It wasn't anything exciting that I was visiting, that I was coming to see them. And it felt really shitty, honestly, realizing that what I was feeling. I ended up driving back to my friend's place that I was staying with, and I bawled my eyes out. And then some random person in my friend's apartment complex saw me crying, wanted to check up on me. Their dog was running over to me, and I just didn't want to be alone. So I ended up asking him, hey, can I go for a walk with you and your dog? Total stranger. He didn't kidnap me. He didn't kill me. Nothing bad happened. He actually entrusted me with his dog, which isn't even his dog. It was his friend's dog. But he was like, hey, I need to go into the store real quick. Will you watch the dog? So I guess there was a exchange of trust there. But yeah, it wasn't a fun time after I saw them last time. bawled my eyes out, met up with my friend. She comforted me. And I feel like maybe there could be a chance to mend the relationship. But at the same time, I wonder how much of a sacrifice is that going to cost me? Am I going to have to make all the amendments to the relationship? Am I going to have to do all the sacrificing? And at this point in life, I just don't think I'm willing to do that. I don't think I'm capable of doing it, and I don't think I'm willing to do it. So I've decided to just not even see them. I'm only seeing the people in my family that I am basically still on good terms with, but I essentially am low to no contact with my family. And I feel bad about it because there are people in my family that don't deserve that. Like, there was nothing that happened with our relationship that would warrant the low to no contact. They're just kind of like a casualty. At this time, I have not said anything to my best friend about how nervous I am because we are going to be so close to my house. And when we go out and about and do things, there is a high chance that I could run into somebody. And frankly, I don't know how I would react. I don't know if I would panic. I don't know if I would be able to stand my ground and remind myself that I didn't want to see them and I don't have to see them. I don't know if I would acknowledge them and just kind of make it a very short interaction and go on with my day. I have no idea how I'm going to react. That's also part of the reason why I'm seeing my best friend during the second half of my trip, because I've learned this lesson. The last time I was in my home state in 2021, I saw family first, and then I saw her, and I traveled to her second, and it was very much needed because she picked me up from the airport and she could tell I was stressed. And as soon as we got to her place, I just broke down, and she was telling me, like, I could tell you needed that. And she just let me cry it out for like the next 30 minutes and tell her what happened and all my feelings. And she was like, I could tell you needed to get that off your chest. I could tell you were stressed. I could tell you needed to cry. And she even told me, like, that's why I figured you were going to come see me during the second half of your trip. But she just didn't want to say anything until like I was with her, which was honestly, I'm grateful for it because that means she knows me and she knows that mentioning it before could have I wouldn't have been able to hold myself together while I was still in my home state last time. It's probably going to be more or less a repeat of that when I see her this time. But I also know she's probably expecting it, anticipating it even. And I don't know, I might even surprise myself. I might even have gone through enough this past year with other family drama where I currently am that maybe I'm just like over it. And I'm just like, I'm going to do what I need to do to make me happy and to maintain my growth and just continue to be a good person. So maybe it won't even bother me as much when I'm actually in the state. I do know she intends to stay in the current house that she just bought for at least the next 10 years. So there is going to be a lot of back and forth visiting my hometown more frequently in the next 10 years just because, we alternate. And I don't know, maybe this is like the next step in my growth. Maybe this is the next step in my healing. And I hate all of those like personal development, self-improvement words because they're all so buzzwordy, but at the same time, they are basically true. Maybe this is what I need to resolve past issues that I guess you could probably see it as like when I moved out of state, I basically was running away from my problems, which admittedly I was. I did take advantage of the fact that I was moving out of state to be with my husband. I was essentially using it as an excuse to run away and ignore my problems from back home. I'm hoping I've had enough growth and confidence developed in myself that I will be able to handle the emotions that are going to be happening when I'm visiting. But at the same time, I also know if for some reason I can't stand on my own 2 feet, I know I have my best friend and she is going to be there to pick me back up, tell me everything is going to be okay, which is why I am so thankful that we have the relationship that we do and that she's going to be there for me.